In the last episode, we built the fuel generator, which required some quick wire, which pulls off of the caterium or research tree, and it really showed me just how little I've been taking advantage of some of the useful things that we can get from doing more research. So in this episode, we are going to try and fill out the caterium research tree as much as possible. Now, we've already unlocked the ability to make the ingots, which allows us to make the quick wire, which we used in the previous episode, so we're going to move forward with some of these caterium electronics. You can see I have plenty of quick wire here, and this is a pretty quick one. I'm not going to worry about some of the things over to the side, like this inflated pocket dimension, which is useful, but it'll just take a little extra time. So we're going to look down further, and we've got the AI limiter, which, well, I already have enough stuff for. But let's see what else we can take advantage of. The blade, oh yeah, blade runners, sick. Okay, I want these ones too. So this is 5 minutes, and this one's 3 seconds. So let's just go ahead with this one. It'll help us find out what we need to produce in order to make sure that we're not wasting time while we're researching the blade runners. So high-speed connector, again, we need to go back and run to grab some more quick wire, but the AI limiter we'll check out, and we'll make sure that we need quick wire to start off the blade runners too. All right, let's do a little trip to the caterium or mining production satellite facility. I've misplaced the Explorer, which is the dune buggy looking vehicle, which is really quick and has that high travel suspension, which allows us to just go over pretty much anything. So we're taking the gigantic 6-wheeled truck, and it's actually way faster than I was expecting. So although the big problem that I have with this one is that it's so gigantic that I'm concerned about taking out a lot of the plants and trees, because I like to kind of keep those around so that the environment looks more lush. So here we are. Oh, it looks like it's shut down, which is not a problem. We've just been fueling it with the biomass burner. So that guy's taking up all of the solid biofuel that I have right now. So we'll just let this be idle for a bit and see what it has. Wait a second. Oh no, it's just one stack. All right, well, we'll see if we can just make this 500 quick wire work. Man, this thing's actually awesome. We've now researched and have the ability to make the high-speed connector, so the next step in the research tree is the supercomputer, which is going to require the AI limiter and the high-speed connector, along with the computers which we have already produced in order to research. Now, while we're doing this, I'm going to start research on the Power Poles Mark II and save the blade runners for last, because while I haven't ever used them, I'm sure they're going to be the most interesting part of this episode. Here in the crafting bench, we can look into producing some of these components by hand that we're going to need for further research. First up being the AI limiter. You can see the components required are actually pretty basic. The copper sheets we've had access to for a long time, and we have plenty of those. And the quick wire is something that I just kind of discovered was really easy to create. We're going to have plenty of that quickly. So then beyond the AI limiter is the high-speed connector, which is requiring, again, some easy components. And then the circuit boards, which, although this is a somewhat advanced component because it's requiring the plastic from the oil refinery process, we are producing a ton of them, and they're actually being done right behind us here in that machine there, feeding into this gigantic manufacturer, which is producing the computers. So no problem creating these components. I really miscalculated how advanced these were and how difficult it was going to have to be to go through the caterium research tree. It looks like the research for the Power Poles Mark II is completed, so let's go ahead and see what those can do for us. I'm going to pop one down here, and it's definitely bigger than the Mark I's. Okay, we got 7 connection points. That is pretty huge. For the Mark I's, which only have 4 total connection points, I find that I meet that 4 out of 4 very frequently, and I end up having to put 2 next to each other just so that I can expand those out. So being able to go up to 7 is going to be pretty great, and I think even further down the caterium we can go onto the Mark III's, so those are going to be even more helpful. Alright, just going to go ahead and produce as many of these AI limiters as I can for now, and with 10 of these guys we can start research on the Smart Splitter. I could certainly sit here and make the AI limiters and high-speed connectors by hand, but that would take a while and it's kind of boring, so I figured I might as well throw down a couple temporary machines in order to do some of the construction for me. So we're going to throw down an assembler. I gotta make sure that this is in a good spot because the next machine is quite large. So let's throw down the assembler here, and the next one, the manufacturer, right next to it. And you can see I did not plan that very well. There we go. So these guys will sit here just momentarily. I'll feed in the inputs by hand, but they'll help us speed along the production of those 2 components. All right, let's check out this Smart Splitter. I have a little test set up for our smart splitter. On the right side is the merger side. We will take components that we'll put in both of these storage containers, and they should merge into an alternating format on this conveyor belt. So 2 components on that single conveyor belt, and then the smart splitter should be able to sort those out for us. So we're going to be using concrete and some copper sheeting. You can see that the concrete is going to go on the left output and the copper sheeting on the right. Then we will fill these guys up with those 2 components, and hopefully we will see the smart splitter do its job. So obviously the concrete's getting a little bit of a head start, and now they should start alternating, although I really don't know how this is working. Okay, we're doing a lot more of the copper sheeting now. Okay, now it's finally going 1 and 1. Okay, so we've got copper sheeting going to the right and concrete going to the left, and this is pretty fantastic. I mean, this is something I wish I'd have known about when I was building Factory 2.0, because you can see in that factory the conveyor belts just stacking on top of each other, which is a pretty cool look that I do appreciate, but being able to put multiple components on a single conveyor belt would be able to help me cut down on the total space that I need to use for conveyor belts. So it would help with efficiency a little bit, but I kind of like the way that we did things in Factory 2.0, so it's okay. But going forward, this is going to be the way to go. My 2 production assistants aren't doing nearly as much work as I was hoping they would. So you can see in the assembler on the right here, it is running through the quick wire extremely quickly, and I guess that sounds pretty obvious. But in order to get more of these AI limiters, we're going to have to find a way to get that quick wire to the base in a larger scale fashion so that we don't have to run back and forth and we can make these much faster. Now the story is much the same over on the manufacturer, is burning through the cable and the quick wire, so we're going to have to set up a facility in order to allow these 2 things to be produced automatically, where we can just sit back, wait, and collect all of the high-speed connectors and the AI limiters that they will produce. So that means we'll be saving the lower branches of the tree like the supercomputer and the programmable splitter for a later date, and instead move on to the blade runners. It always surprises me how inexpensive these things are. I can make 5 currently with what I'm just carrying around, so let's go ahead and make a pair and then pop these bad boys on. Well, I assume I just swap out my jetpack with the blade runners, and we'll see. Am I wearing them? Well, it looks like they're on my legs, so... Oh my god, I'm so fast! Oh, that's a really sizable improvement in foot speed. Let's see, can I jump any higher? I think so. Hold on, let me check that out. I can't put the jetpack back on because that changes my jump as well. So that's a regular jump. And let's see what a Blade Runner jump looks like. Yeah, definitely in the air for longer. I don't know how much higher I'm getting. And I'm wondering if these guys will actually soften my fall as well. Now, the jetpack was pretty huge for that. It really helped because it took away my dependence on the parachute, which was annoying because it was consumable. So maybe the Blade Runners will also help with that, because I can't wear them both simultaneously, at least not yet. So let's go ahead and throw these on and then jump off the building. Oh no. Yeah. Too bad. Well, those are the Blade Runners. I mean, being faster is obviously going to be helpful for so many things, but I was kind of expecting them to make me taller. There are some things on the market called power risers, or at least they used to be, which are kind of like pogo sticks for your legs, and they make you jump really high if you kind of put the effort into them. And I kind of thought that that's what these were, because I just looked at the icon and I didn't really know how your legs were fitting in there, but I guess that's how. So we are extra fast this time around, and it's going to be annoying having to switch back and forth between the jetpack and the power risers. Hopefully at some point we can put them both on, whatever that would look like. It would just turn all into a super machine cyborg. The ultimate factory building half man, half machine. So thank you guys for watching this first half of the caterium ore research. Wait a second, what was that? Oh my god, my body disappears, and it's only my shadow of the Blade Runners. Jump in the air. That's pretty funny. I think maybe that's just my my PC qualities, is removing the shadow when they get too far away from the ground. Hopefully we'll be able to upgrade that at some point and then make this world look even more beautiful. But for now, we can just run around it at lightning speed with the Blade Runners. So again, thank you guys for watching this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.